piece. I got another perspective. Isn't it like a lovely contradiction? Because there is no good or bad. There is just what is. But when you're conscious and aware of your intentions towards the self-talk, inner and outer, or how you are directing a certain energy at someone, then you are making a conscious choice to send a negative energy somewhere within or outside of yourself. Isn't that crazy? I was just thinking about that because throughout life, anything that's came my way on my path was meant to be on my path. But once I was aware of how I was telling myself things and looking at like things and how I would have a thought about someone else, and once I was aware of that, like, I worked diligently to stop that negativity and not be a victim and not blame other people. But isn't that crazy? Like, it's all meant to be. But when you are aware of what you are intentionally doing to somebody, then that's kind of like a situation of, yeah, it's meant to happen because you obviously have a lesson to learn, obviously. And that person might need a lesson too, like it's meant to be. But when is it finally clicks that you have to be accountable for your intentions towards somebody else and the energy you're directing at them? And I get that all goes with a lesson too. It's kind of crazy. Life is so beautiful, isn't it? Because it's neither good or bad. It's meant to be. But when you know, like, who are you behind closed doors when no one's watching? Like, what are you telling yourself? Or what are you thinking about someone else when you take off that mask? That's like a conscious choice. Once you are aware of yourself doing that, and then you change it. It's like one of those rabbit hole things, because at one point you have to take accountability for your mindset. And what excuses do you give yourself to direct bad energy at someone else? It's like you have to practice humility in a lot of things to understand, why do I feel this way about this? Why do I want this for that person? Why do I want to curse them? And it's like, oh, because I'm weak. And I obviously haven't learned that lesson, because you always reap what you sow. You always get what you get. You might think at that time, you might see someone having a situation happen that you wished upon them, like in a cursing way, because whatever, you could express however you want. But it was intentional until you realize, oh man, I get what I give. It might not be in the exact same form, but that shit comes right back at me. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's all meant to be. But it's like, when do we click and realize we reap what we sow? We get what we give. Return to sender kind of vibe. Can't hide from the reaper. That is like weak in your light, the brightness of your light vibe. You know what I mean? I had to add this on there because it's not like a judgment, but I mean, judgment day comes for us all. And when we practice humility and accountability, when we wish something for another person, yeah, it doesn't mean we can't be at a high vibe, but the light, you're not being guided by the light in a way. So your light is weak. And however you want to express it, it's my perspective, but, and from my own personal experience, because I love everyone. Everyone's beautiful, even the ones that have ill intentions. Like, cool, that comes from somewhere, and that's something need to be learned on their path. It's beautiful. I can't be touched now. Like, before I could, now I can't, and I get that. Because my light is bright, and it's always going to be there, no matter how bright it might be in a moment. Doesn't mean it's even dim. It just means I'm tending to my garden.